Hi everyone, and welcome to the 4th annual 12 Days of Christmas card tutorials hosted by Justine Hovey. It runs from October 23rd to November 4th, so be sure to stop by her blog every day for a chance to win various prizes from different sponsors. For today's card, I'm going to be starting with Simon Says Stamp Holiday Background, and I'm stamping it with some Brutus Monroe embossing ink onto a piece of Desert Storm craft cardstock. I did remember to prep my cardstock with the embossing bag just to remove any static and any oils from my fingers. Doing this keeps the embossing powder from sticking where it shouldn't. I've heat set my embossing powder, and now I'm going to move on. I'm going to add a little bit of gold around the edges with a finger dauber. This is the Delicata Gold GLITZ, and I'm just going around the edges. I felt like I added a little bit too much, so I used a dry cloth to just buff a little bit away. For my focal image, I'm going to be using Simon Says Stamp Color Me Tree. I'm going to stamp it onto some Lucky Limeade cardstock. Any kind of cardstock that's color that you like would work fine. I just picked out some Copic markers that went well with it, and I'm just coloring in around the little wonky lines. Once I'm done coloring all of the circles, I'm going to go ahead and overstamp. I'm going to use some ONYX black ink. It's VersaFine, and I just think it adds a little bit of pop of color. It just darkens things up, and then I like to add some clear embossing powder. I'm going to go ahead and heat set that, and you can see how vibrant it is now. And then I'll fussy cut all the way around it. It does have the stamp set does have a coordinating die set, but I wanted the image to go all the way to the edge, to the black line, so I just decided to fussy cut it. Once I'm done fussy cutting, I'm going to take a Memento Tuxedo black ink, sorry, not an ink, a marker, and I'm just going to go around the edges. It kind of finishes it off. For my sentiment, I am taking some Bazzill peppermint cardstock, and this is just a little scrap piece. And I'm going to stamp the banner with some embossing ink. And the reason why I did the embossing ink is I tried stamping the image onto some white cardstock, and there are some details to the banner that are white, and I thought it threw off my design. And so this is how I solved it. So I just added the sentiment just on top using the VersaFine ONYX black ink. I won't be embossing it, but I'm just going to take a Copic multi-liner, and I'm going to trace around the edges. It's the marker is a 0.05, and it's really fine. So what I'm doing is I'm just following the pattern, and I'm outlining the details of the banner. I just thought the white was a little distracting because on my card front I don't have any white, and so I just decided to solve my problem this way. I did try stamping on some black cardstock with some red pigment ink, and it didn't turn out so well, and so this is the easiest and simplest solution, and I thought I did pretty well outlining. And then what I'll do is I'll fussy cut around that, and once again I will use my Memento marker to go around the edges. Now to put my card together, I'm going to be using a piece of craft cardstock as my base. I've just scored it down the middle, and now I'm going to add my panel with my ATG gun. I like to do panels because if you mess up, then it's a small panel instead of a whole card base. To add my card front, I just use the corner of my MISTI just so that it's easy to line up. I added some foam to the back of my elements, and now I'm just going to center them onto the front of my card. To finish it off, I add a little bit of Wink of Stella to parts of the tree, and I also go back and I add some Pretty Pink Posh sequins. As part of Justine's 12 Days of Christmas series, there are several prizes. The winners will be announced on November 7th on Justine's channel, along with all the other prizes throughout the series. All you have to do to enter is answer a question on each stop of the video hop. So my question for you is, what kind of lights do you put on your tree? Do you put white lights or colored lights? I like colored lights. So don't forget to leave a comment on my video as well as the other videos on the hop. And if you haven't, be sure you subscribe to everyone that's participating. And don't forget to hit that like button. Thanks so much for stopping by, and have a great day.